Everybody, how are you on this wonderful Monday morning? It is October 23rd, 2023. So you will never have another one of that again. And it is a cold morning here in the city, 2 degrees. So hi, Stacy, how are you? When I got this topic, I thought of you, Stacy, this morning. I said, I wonder if she'll be on. So here you are, and I'm happy you're here for this topic. I think it's a topic you will enjoy. You put so much into everything you do, so this is perfect just for you. So everybody, it's another hi. How are you this morning? Up early? I must say it's 2 degrees in the city. It's not warm. And here we are. Do your best. I am here. I'm so happy. Love you. Love you, Stace. So yeah, it is a cold morning and there's nothing we can do. But anyway, let's get the show on the road. It is important to get things going. Did you see that? Do your best. That's one of those things I try to do every day. So there are 3 things when you do your best that you have to keep in mind. And those 3 things, good morning, Lisa, how are you? Those 3 things that you have to do when you're getting ready to do your best. There's somebody here, but I can't see the name because, of course, you know how Instagram has this little headache thing going on. So do your best. Yeah, that's our topic for today. But there are 3 areas how you have to look at it. Number 1, you have to believe in your ability that you're doing your best. Number 2, hi Pearl, good morning. Enjoy doing your best. Look for small moments in throughout the day when you're doing your best to be able to enjoy your journey. You have to do that. Number 3, stop looking at what others are doing. And that is really important. So, hi Yuko, good morning. Morning everybody. Hi Pearl, everybody. So do your best. The thing about doing your best is that you have to realize, here you are, doing your best is the only thing you can do. You cannot, hi Peter, good morning, hi Mama Mo, good morning. When you're doing your best, it's not only when people are looking at you, you have to do your best. Many times we show our best face, we do everything because everybody's eyes are on us. And in the meantime, if somebody stares at us or look at our face, our eye, they will notice that we are not actually enjoying the journey. We are pretending because eyes are on us. When eyes, hi Kia, good morning. When eyes are not on you, that's when you have to do your best. When people are not looking at you, that's when you have to shine. There is a saying that they have that when you do something, integrity is doing the best you can when people are seeing you and when people are not seeing you. So you have to make sure you do it when they're not seeing you, so it becomes a habit that you do it when they're seeing you. Hi, Gowana. So one of the things we have to do is to remember, you have a small thing to do, insignificant thing to do. Thanks, Stacey. And there you are, working on it, but kind of lackadaisical because you're saying to yourself, it's just a little thing here and a little thing here. What works in the thought mind works in the financial mind. I can always link them together. They have a saying there too. Take care of the nickels so the dimes can take care of themselves. So we know there are 2 nickels in a dime. And they're asking us to make sure we take care of the nickels so that when we get a bunch of dimes, we know more how to manage those dimes. That's basically what it's saying. So it's the same thing. Do the small things you have to do really well. So when you get the big things to do, you do not have to work so hard. All you have to do is polish it. Because you're so accustomed of doing your best with the small things that nobody observes and nobody sees. Or you think nobody observes or nobody sees. And that is what gives you the opportunity to shine. I always have a story about this thing because my job is to be observant. Everywhere I go, I see opportunities for me to use in what I'm saying, in what I'm teaching, in what I am pushing forward for you to get into you. And I'll give you an example. Hi, Angelina, good morning. About a young man. He worked at the bank as a teller. And when I became a manager of financial services, one of the people I worked with said to me, here, so and so, he's ready to be a sales rep, a junior level sales rep. So I always had observed him when I was an FA, and he was a teller, and he was just a really nice, put together young man. So I said, okay, I'm hiring somebody, send him for an interview. So I hired him, and he was always on point. And we live in Toronto, so there is winter. And there's a whole bunch. There was a time I had 15 in the sales staff alone, and out of the 15, 10 were men. So you can imagine what that was like. And then I noticed one of the things about them, a few of them would be wearing shirts that they and their shirt and their pants and their shoes looked like they came out of a dirty wringer washer. And everything was crushed. And you look at them, and if you wanted to do investment, you would run to the opposite end of the place. So, and one thing I noticed that was really, really awful was how dirty their shoes were. It's like they just couldn't keep their shoes. It was disgusting to look at. So anyway, at the sales meeting, I told them, if you want to succeed in this field, you make sure you have to look like you have money so that people want to give you their money because they figure you're doing well. That's why you can do well for them. So I bought shoe polish, kept 2 colors in my drawer, brown and black. And when they came in, they knew if it was dirty from the salt, and they could clean it. So anyway, this young man, fast forward, came in one day and tears, crying. He got an opportunity to go for an interview somewhere else, for another company, out of the bank. But he didn't want to go without telling me, and he was thinking he was hurting me. After 18 months, you can go. So I said, you should go. So he went for the interview, things came back. And then a couple of days later, he was offered the job. He came back again in tears. And I said, you have to stop this nonsense. He told me, you know why I'm doing this? He said, when they gave me the job, but they told me it's not because I had the most experience or the education I have. They said it's how I carried myself. And the man that gave me was the VP, and he said, we were sitting in a circle, and you were in the center of that half circle. And we looked at your shoes, and we noticed it was polished. Your socks was neat. It wasn't crumbling down your ankle. And he said, that's why you got the job. Not because you were the smartest one on the thing, in the people we interviewed, but because it's how you presented yourself. That's what we're looking for to present our company, in our company. So that is why I always say do your best when nobody is looking, because it becomes a habit. So he always put himself together. I did not talk about his clothes. He never looked like the wringer washer guy. Lassa, you want to pull money in. Why is your hand in your pocket? You're a salesperson. All of you should be exposed to show you're the best at that. So anyway, that's what you have to remember. You have a small job, a small thing to do, personal for yourself. Maybe not your job, not where your requirement where you work. It's not something you have to do. And you're doing something just easy for yourself. You have to do something, clean the stove. I don't care. Do your laundry, polish your shoe, wash your car, keep your car clean, something like that. That is the habit you develop. Whatever it is you're doing, you need to do it well, perfectly well. If you're supposed to be cleaning, clean well. Even if it's a cup, do it well. So you do not have to repeat the action. And then the next time you get something big to do that maybe is going to change your life, you are able to put the same amount of energy into doing it too, because you're accustomed to it. You look at it, and you have to be the judge and juror of yourself to say, am I doing my best? You have to decide that. You have to say, am I doing my best? When you do your best at small things, bigger things come to you to take care of. It's automatic. We talk about polishing of your coins, how the coins you put and you give has to be the best shiny coin. So more coins come to you to be shiny. Money goes where money is. The people that waste their money, they're not doing their best by their money. They always need money. But if you have money and you're doing your best by it, you're using it in the right way. You're not abusing the credit that you're allowed to have. You're not buying more than you can manage to pay off in 30 days. You're not biting more than you can chew. It's the same thing with even having a meal. Do your best. Enjoy the meal in the moment. Take your time. You don't have to gobble it up. You can sit and take your time. So do your best even in chewing your food. Why? It will go through you better. Do your best in everything you do. So when you do your best, you have to believe now that you have the ability that you're doing your best. You have to, hi Valerie, good morning. Doing your best is believing and having the faith. Yes, I can do my best. I know I can. I have the ability to do the best I can. I am successful at it because I believe in me. Now, I said for number two, enjoy doing your best. Look for moments to enjoy when you're on the journey. Now, it's not everything we do we love to do. It's not everything we do that we have the time to do it. But the point of doing anything is the consistency of doing it well. And then on a journey, there's going to be different types of moments when things are not going your way, even if you are doing something. Like Ceci said, she cleaned her neighbor's house watching her cats. I felt so bad. Her mom is very sick. Stacy is like the duster you use. It goes everywhere and cleans every nook and cranny. That is perfect for her. So enjoy doing it. Some things are not, when you look at it on the surface, it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable to discipline a staff member that you have to discipline or you have to coach or you have to, put them in order. It's not easy to do that. It's hard. It's difficult. And what we have to remember is that when you want to succeed at doing things well, the most difficult things that you have to do that day, you should do it first thing in the morning and clear it out of your way. Words of a wise woman, never know who's watching us from far off. So if you carry yourself well, always you never know who's watching. No, we don't know who's watching. We don't know. Sometimes it's a child that's watching. Like the child at the cash register with the parents and picked up some toy and the parents said, we're not buying that. We don't have the money or whatever the parents said. I am behind them in the line. As I said, I'm always looking for opportunities to learn so I can teach. So me and you, we do not make those same mistakes. The child answered the parent, put it on the credit card. You put everything on the credit card anyway. The mother looked back at me and said, children, and I will slap myself, not to her. But I'm thinking, you and I are going to the car to have a discussion before we get onto that store. That's what I was thinking. Come here, let's go to the car. Let's have a discussion about this, and you know what that discussion would be. But mothers and parents are not allowed to do that anymore. So what can I say? So one of the things I have to remind you of, like this young lady said, we don't know who is watching. And that is what is funny. If we know somebody's watching us, we are behaving the best. We're doing our best. You should be able to be who you are no matter what's going on. But the process is to enjoy it. Find something in enjoying. So it's difficult to have a difficult conversation with a challenging staff member. But what is enjoyable? You did it first thing this morning. And now you have the rest of the day to enjoy the day, to enjoy doing what you love to do. Instead of taking the thing that you do not like to do, that's difficult, and you push it to the back. And again, we talked about that last week. And every morning it comes looking at you and saying, hey, you did not attend to me yesterday. Remember me? I'm still waiting for you to take care of me. So the same thing with a difficult situation, whether you're a manager, supervisor, whatever you are, a parent, you nip it in the bud. You do it as soon as you see it surfacing, you go after it and you deal with it. The moment you do that, then you, as a person, you are free to enjoy the journey, the day. And every time you come across a situation that is not pleasant, your job is to do it now. And that frees you to enjoy your day. Otherwise, that nagging thing is there and it's not going away because you haven't paid it, you haven't done anything with it. It is wondering why he should live in me or he live in me unattended. I need to be looked after. But human being is, we do not want to face the unpleasant. But a lifetime doesn't only have pleasant things in it. That is what we have to remember. In one lifetime, there is not going to be only lovely, sweet, amazing things to do. What we have to remember is that every day there's going to be a challenging moment. And when you see it, if you do not tackle it, then you are not doing your best. It is disturbing. It's not healthy. And you are not looking after it. You're not doing your best because you need to take care of it. It's not going to go away. That is one time I can, hi Ryan, good morning, that nobody is coming to fix it for you. So that is what we have to remember. In doing your best, you have to do the hard, the difficult, the unpleasant things first. It's only when you do those things first, you make room to enjoy the rest of the journey. The journey of your life has a lot of ups and downs. The ups are fabulous. We enjoy them and we want them to last. And we think the most challenging things are the ones that will last. That's not true. Both success and failure are imposters. They both last just for a time. That's why we have to keep doing our best to make sure we drag into our life the one that we need the most. So, another thing that we do, which was number 3, stop looking at what others are doing. It's not really just like that. It's stop comparing yourself to others. That's the thing. That's the most difficult thing in all that we do. We are constantly comparing ourselves. Oh, how come they've got this? Oh, they have this. Oh, they're more successful. They're able to lose the weight. They're able to have more money. But then if you are always looking at what others are doing and comparing yourself to what they're doing, how can you put you in you? How can you put all of you in doing what you desire to do for you? And in many times it will be selfish in people's eye. They love that to tell you you're selfish. And that you're not a martyr, you're not selfless, you're not giving enough. And if you turn the table on them, are they going to give as much? So you have to let go of all of that. Your job is you. Even if you're raising a family, your job is still you, because if you're not well put together, the children cannot be put together. They observe you. Like the child said, you always put everything you buy on credit card, right? That's what they saw. That's what they know. Instead of saying something to the child, oh no, children. And that just said, anyway, you wouldn't want to know. But what happens is that we have to learn to stay in our lane. We need to look to see what is in front of us. While we are looking at what they're doing, we are not seeing where we're going. While we are looking across the fence, we are not seeing where they're going. So one of the things we have to do for sure is to make sure we are touching our own lives with our actions every day. It's not important to compare yourself to your neighbor. You do not know the price they had to pay to be there. Every action has a price. It could be a price to be consistent, to be disciplined, to show up. It could be a price to make sure what you do it so well that when you look at it, you feel good. It does not mean that when the world looks at it, they will feel good for you. They won't. And do not expect that. And if that is what you're waiting for you to do your best, then you need to stop and reboot. You have to do it. The opinions of others, good or bad, doesn't matter. So even if somebody thinks you're fabulous and you're great, or the other one thinks you're useless and stupid and you don't know what you're doing, it still doesn't matter. Have you noticed neither of these opinions prevent you from eating dinner or cooking or paying your mortgage or your rent? Have you noticed that? So why carry it? Why take it with you when it has nothing to do with you? Hi, JT. So you have to remember that. that the opinion of others has nothing to do with you, but your only purpose, the only thing you have control and complete and utter control of is how you show up. What do you do and how do you do it? Do your best. Do you really do your best in everything you do? Whatever you do your best. You do it in small, small increments, and you build on it by building it and building it. It's compounding. You're in the habit of showing up. You're in the habit of whatever is inspired or you have to do or you must do today, that when you step into doing it, you give it your full and undivided attention. You pay attention to it. When you speak with me, I remember what you say because I give you my mind. I give it all to you. So I will remember something you said to me so that I can use it for me either to help me or to help you or help somebody else. Every conversation we have with somebody else, there is something in there to learn. So give them your best hearing. Listen before you speak. All of that is doing your best. Hear the entire conversation before you jump in and cut it in half. And you're answering questions that you couldn't fully understand. Pause and repeat what the person has said to you so that they know and you know that you are in there with them. When you do your best with others, they will consider you and they'll say, I wonder what so-and-so would do in this situation. You have heard that. I always wonder what you would do in this situation. That is because they trust you as somebody that's doing your best. They see you. They mightn't have seen you doing your best. They look at the results you have. And they will ask you, what did you do? How did you feel when you were doing your best in that time? They're always asking you what it is you had to do your best. And the only thing you had to do was show up. Be consistent, believe that you have the ability to succeed and you have the ability and the knowledge to do what you're doing. Believe and have faith in yourself that nobody is coming to do it for you. They're not supposed to come to fix it for you. You have to get on with it. It's by getting on with it that you will move it. If you decide you're not going to get on with it and you're going to sit, leave it there and think it will go away by itself, it's not going to change for you. When you do your best, you can look back. And if somebody criticizes you and you're willing to interact with them about that criticism, you have only two things. I did my best. 4 words. I did my best. It doesn't matter what that person says, how they take you down, how you should have acted, how many times they will tell you you stumbled, and how many times they will tell you that you failed, and how many people that were more successful than you that did it, and how many people than you that are successful. It does not matter. You have one answer. You want to interact, you want to engage them when they do this. I don't care. But if you want to engage, you have one thing. I did my best. And again, you have to consider where this type of words are coming from. The person that pointed to you where you failed, where you stumbled, how you're not successful, all the things you have to look at them. Because they too are speaking from their point of view. And they perhaps do not believe that they've got it in them, but they can be judge and jury on you. They can criticize you. They can make assumptions, but your only thing you can do is do your best. You do your best when you talk about yourself. When you talk about yourself and somebody asks you, you can say, you know what? I am the type of person that shows up. I do my best. I hold on. I'm consistent. I mind my business. I love me, I stand for me, I show up for me. It doesn't matter who is going to come with you as long as you go and do what you desire by yourself. And you have to remember that if somebody comes, if you're good. But if no one shows up but you, that's your job. Your job was to show up. Your job was to coach. Your job was to mentor. Be bold and say, hey, you failed. Sometimes when somebody does not want to give you their best, it's because they don't believe you're worthy. So if you're waiting to get it from them, you must remember how they see you. They see you from I don't believe you should get the best of me. That is, you don't need it. They should keep their best for themselves. And do not let that hurt you when you see the person is not coming up for you. Do not let that hurt you. You would stop. And if you really want, think, are they coming up for themselves? Are they showing up for themselves? Or are they showing up for who shows up? We see that in a lot of things. It's only when people are standing in front of them, they show up and they're impeccable, their words are exquisite, their manners are impeccable, they behave like that. But that's not really them. Are they unhappy? Of course, because they're not bringing out their true self. Your best is not going to be the best of somebody else. Remember that. But you have to know that I decided and I put my energy in this moment and I showed up. And when I got there, I was my best. How do you do that? If you are not feeling your best, you will not do your best. Do things to make you feel your best. If you feel that everything you put on you is fighting to let your body is fighting to get out of your clothes because it's too tight and it bothers you, then you are not your best in that way. So what can you do? You decide how you want to be seen by you first. Like Michael Jackson said, it's the man in the mirror, right? That is the most important person. Hi, Flight 58. That is the most important person, the person in the mirror. That is who you have to look at. That is who you have to be honest with. That is who you do your best for, not for anybody else. People will benefit from you having done your best, and that's okay. That is your legacy. That is the rope you left behind you for somebody to follow. But that is not your reason for doing it. Your reason for doing your best is the person in the mirror, the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, the human being in the mirror. If when you look at that human in the mirror, you're not satisfied with what you feel or what you can see physically or how you feel internally, then it's up to you to change it. Doing your best first is the most important thing you can do in your life if you desire to be successful. Doing your best when nobody else is looking at you is the most important thing you can do for yourself. It gives you a sense of satisfaction. It gives you a sense of success, of belief. I can do it. I know I've got it. You have faith in you, and you know you have the ability to do what it is that is in front of you because you put all of you in it. You practice that. So whenever you step to take charge, to do something, you're going to take that same thing because now it's part of you. Your body, your mind does not expect anything better than that. It wants you to continue to do that, not any less. It is saying you can push yourself and do your best. And then maybe the next step you do is to raise your level. Go up higher. Constantly strive to do higher with bigger, because the minute you have taken care of all the small annoying things in a day, you leave room for the big, amazing, wonderful, enjoyable things you do. And when these are done, you feel satisfied. You can now stand in front of that mirror and look at that human being you are and said, I did my best. Job well done. I put my best foot forward. I created the life that I live by taking chances and opportunities and working diligently and following a plan. Doing your best requires that you show up every day for you. Many people say, I'm doing it for my children. No, you have to first do it for you before you can do it, because your doing is not for the children. Your doing is for you, and you become the example for your children to do, because my mom, my dad, my family did their best. But if you are lackadaisical, and if you're always charging it, that's what they're going to see. They'll follow that. So doing your best is the best thing you can do for you and for generations of your life to come. You are the rope that they will cling to so that they can improve the future. Your best is not going to be for everybody. Your best will not be always admired by others. Your best is not always going to be taken and celebrated by anybody else. Don't expect your friends, your family, or anybody to celebrate how wonderful and great you are by doing your best. The only person that will celebrate you is the person inside of you. And this is the person that really matters at day's end, at life's end. On the last day, the last breath, make it be, I did my best. And with a smile, because my best was all I had to give each and every day. If you're going to do it, and you will do it only when you're being seen, and then when you think nobody's seeing you, except you seeing you, are you happy with that choice you're making? So doing your best is not only when it's shiny and big and bold. It's like lacing up your shoe so that you don't fall. You walk on that shoe and the lace, you fall, right? Did you do your best? But was it a simple thing? Simple. Just to tie your shoelaces would avoid you from hurting yourself for the rest of your life. Have a wonderful day, wonderful and amazing human being. Thanks for coming. I am so happy and grateful to have had the honor and the privilege to be here with you this morning. So do your best when you step out today. And by the way, those of you who were here on Friday, how did the colors work out for you? If you had a choice and you saw the color, how did it work for you? Thank you, Stace. Best Pink Canadian Diamond. Thank you, Spacey. Fantastic. Simple the best. This was amazing. Thank you. Best song. Flight. Everybody, be your own advocate. Nobody's coming. Love my morning blessing. That's a big goal of mine. Listen before I say something. I do my best to always show my authenticity. That's amazing. Well said. You can become successful watching others. You can, because you will emulate little things that they do. Thank you, Stacy. I was up at 4:30, got a lot of work done, and it feels amazing. Of course, the earlier you get up, sometimes what you can do between that time and 12 is what most people do in 2 days. It's true, you know, what you can. I find I have so much done at the end of the day. Somebody's watching me. Yeah, there's always the person watching you is the most important person in your life, and it's you. Let me see what this is. Words of a wise woman. We never know who's watching us from afar. So if you carry yourself well, always, we will never know who's watching. You always have to do it. You think the young man thought that he was going to be chosen to get a job because his socks wasn't falling at his ankle and his shoes was clean? No, but he found out that was it, you know. As your neighbor, you're always looking after those cats. So anyway, everybody, thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure. So let me see who is here with us. Hi, Stacy, Kia, Yuko, Angelina, Lisa, Ryan, Rai, Loretta, and Iguana. Good morning, and thank you. Everybody, thank you for coming. I appreciate having you today. See you on the other side of time tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the morning blessing. Who knows what we're going to talk about? One of these days, I dare one of you to give me a topic for a morning blessing. Let me see who will be challenged. I'm sure Stacy will jump in with both feet, but there must be one person. And sometimes you want to hear something or you heard something. So drop by, and if you have something, send me a DM and say, what do you think of that? Let's see what I can do. It's something that is not from me, but from one of you. I love challenges, so make it challenges. If you dare, right? Have a wonderful and amazing day. Thank you. Bye, everybody.